Okay, this is part two of my intro, my quick intro to WordPress and templating your theme. Just a recap of what we've done so far. We have logged into WordPress. We've created our first custom post type, which in this case is work. Go ahead and click on that. You can see there's my profile photo. To go along with that, we have created our first custom field group, which is in this case is work, which will then show our project photos WYSIWYG editor field. Okay, and then in conjunction with that, we set up our theme with our styles or our style.css, our screenshot.png, as well as setting up our index.php template. So let's go back to Dreamweaver here. So this is our index.php template. Now, there's a few things that's in this template. While it's very basic, they will carry across your entire project. So first things first, this PHP tag up here at the top, notice how this is written. I start with my bracket, question mark, PHP. It's basically I'm defining what this is, and then I close it with a question mark and bracket. Every single time you open up a PHP tag, you have to close it before you write any HTML. That's the reason why you see that everything that's written here has been opened and closed. You can see right here I've got an H1 tag, but this title, or the title, is then closed before the H1 tag is closed here. If you do not close each one of these PHP tags, as you can see right here, you're going to have a syntax error. One of the nice things about Dreamweaver is the fact that it will tell you if you've got a syntax error. It says there's a syntax error on line 5. Okay. Now, this get header, while we don't have a header template yet, it's basically saying I want to go and get the header template if it exists and throw it right here. If a header or a footer does not exist, if those templates do not exist, WordPress has default that they'll go ahead and throw that in there for you. So get header, get footer. Okay, now so this next block is if we have any posts, and this could be for a page or a series of posts. If we have posts, and while there are posts that need to be shown, I want to render the post. So that right there is a set of logic. And this basically is an else. So while we have posts, I basically want to show the title and I want to show the content, which is basically the big WYSIWYG text block. If not, if there are no posts that exists, I just want to say there are no posts. So if we go back and look at my home page, here's my title. There are no posts. There are no posts. So that's where that else statement is getting written. So since we do not have our header template or our footer template created yet, let's go ahead and create those now. Go over here to Files. In my theme folder, I'm going to go ahead and create a new file. My computer's thinking. I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to call this header.php. And I'm going to go create another one called footer.php. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and open those up. All right. So as before, Dreamweaver is going to throw out a bunch of just default stuff in there, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of all that stuff. All right, I'm going to go back to my notes. So this is a basic header. The doc type that you see up there at the top is HTML5 doc type. And if you remember from all of the other stuff that we've done so far, with an HTML page, a basic web page, you have to open it up with HTML, and then we've got our head tag. Now, if you remember, our meta tags, our title, our links to our style sheets, all of that stuff is going to reside within this template. So this first PHP block that you see here is that I basically, and it's exactly what this comment says up above here. PHP commenting is a little bit different than HTML commenting. You can see that I've opened up this PHP tag, and while I have one open, I can basically type / right here, which comments out this entire line. Now, do not make the mistake of accidentally deleting all that, because as you can see what I just did, by deleting that line, this WP title is now commented out. So make sure you don't do that. Line spacing is a little bit more stricter when you're coding in PHP than it is in HTML. So this right here tells WordPress to include a hyphen to the right of the name of the title. And then what I'm saying is that I want to include the name of the site, or the name, in this case, blog info, the name of the site, to the right of the title. So if the title for this page or this post exists, I want to show that with a hyphen and then show the blog, or the site name. Okay? Now, this part right here, this WP head, loads all of the stuff that that comes from the functions.php file. We'll get to that here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Let Dreamweaver upload everything. Now, with the footer, it's very basic. Since we've opened up our HTML tag and we've opened up our body tag, we need to make sure that we close it. So that's all we're going to do right here. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And go back here, and all I'm going to do is hit refresh, and as you can see right there, there are no posts. Okay? Awesome. So we've got our header and we've got our footer. Go ahead and save this again just to make sure we got everything right. Okay, fantastic. Now, we need to be able to create some pages for our work page, for our work page, as well as our work post page to be able to display the content of our work post that we created. So first things first, we're going to go in here and create a page. And as you can see right here, we got a sample page and we got contact us. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new page. And I'm going to call this work. And I'm just going to hit publish. So you can see right here. Oh, one more thing to note. So if you've never set up a site before, if you've not been modifying, you're not going to see this. It's probably going to say page equals ID, something, something, something. So the way we need to modify that is we basically need to tweak our permalinks. So you're going to come down here to settings, click on permalinks, and you need to make sure that this post name radio button has been selected, because by default it'll be this. You need to say post name. Okay. So as I said, we've created our work page. Come back here to pages, and it's work. So we come over here, /work. Now we've got a title of our page. All right. So we need to be able to show a list of our work items. So in order to do that, we need to go create a work specific template. So what we're going to do is verify my notes here. Okay, over here to Dreamweaver, and we're going to go over here in our theme, and we're going to create another 2 more templates. And we're going to call this work.php. And we're going to create yet another called single-work. work.php. So if you're creating an index and you're showing a listing, and then you want to be able to show the details of that listing, this single hyphen work, that this naming convention has to appear this way. I'm sorry. If we were doing testimonials and you happen to create a template called template.testimonials, in order to be able to show a single individual testimonial, you would have to say single hyphen testimonials. That's just the way WordPress works. All right, so as I did with the others, I'm going to go ahead and open these up. Remember to do its thing. All right, so I'm going to delete that. Go ahead and delete that. So first things first, we're going to modify, oops, excuse me, do that again. There. So we're going to add some content for our work.php. So basically, I'm just going to walk you through this real quick. So as what we did with the index.php, I'm calling the header, footer. Now we've got a couple other things in here that we didn't have in the index.php. And what that is an array, and we're calling a new WP query object. So, and while we're calling the new object, we're assigning both this array and this object to a variable. You can tell a PHP variable by seeing if there's a $sign in front of a string of text. So essentially an array, it gives you the ability to say, okay, so this item right here equals this. Well, what we're saying here is that we want to define a post type, which in this case is post type work, which then has been assigned to this variable of args, or arguments. Then we're plugging this into a new WP query object. And essentially what that does is that it tells WordPress, I want to go into the database and I want to look for everything that has a post type of work. And then we're assigning that to a variable called the query. So if we come down here, and as you can see right here, we don't have quite the logic that we have in here with a end while and else statement. We've just basically got an end while and end if. So if we have posts, while, and then instead of just having posts, we're basically saying if we have posts of the query of the post type of work, I want to show these. And then I want to each item, so this is a loop right here. So this basically goes over and over again until all the items have been shown. And then what I want to do is I want to show this content right here within an H4 tag. So we've got a tag with a link, which is called a permalink. WordPress is smart enough to be able to determine, okay, so this is the post content type of this. Okay, well then this is how I need to construct the URL to this page. WordPress is smart enough that it basically does all that stuff on its own. You don't need to worry about it. So the permalink right here generates the link to the page, and then the title is essentially the title of the post. Okay, so we go ahead and save that. Come over here to work, and I did something wrong here. Oh, I know why. So we created the page work, but by default, since that work.php template had not been created yet, it's using the index.php template. So we need to go back into WordPress and to tell WordPress for this page work that we want to use the work template. So we come over here to template, and we want to select work page. Go ahead and hit update. hit refresh. Now you can see that I have a link to my project. So if you look down in the lower left-hand side of the screen, it says work/profile photo. Profile photo, if you remember, is the name of the project that I created. Now, if you click this, nothing's there. Well, it's because we need to set up the single individual work template so we can show the content that we set up. So we go back to our single work.php file. Go ahead and paste my code in there. Now this is a little bit different than the work template, and as you can see right here, our end, while, and else statements showed up. So if we have posts, while the post exists, I want to show the title, and then we've got a new PHP tag here. Basically what we're saying is I want to show the field of the name project photos. And if you remember, let's go back to WordPress here, go down to our custom fields, go into our work template group, or our custom field group. Project photos is the name of the field that we created. All right. So let's go back to Dreamweaver, make sure that I save everything. Go back to my page, hit refresh, and there we go. There's the title of my project, and there is my glorious face. So, real quick recap before we talk about our functions.php file. So we've created our header and our footer.php templates. These are essentially supply as the header. This will be the footer. This will be our basic work page. And this is this is our basic work template feed showing all of the individual work posts. And this shows the content of that work post. So that's all fine and good, but how do we inject CSS and JavaScript into our templates? Well, that is where the functions.php page comes into play. Essentially what that does is there's a whole bunch of complex logic that exists in that functions.php page that then compiles everything and then throws that up into this tag right here that says this WP head. So let's go back to our files. In our theme, I'm going to go create a new file. Functions.php. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Once again, delete your content. Go ahead and copy stuff from my notes. All right, now, before you freak out, I'm just going to walk you through this just so you can see what's going on. So, first things first, function theme styles. And this does exactly what the comment up above would suggest. I want to load CSS into the template. So what this does is WP and Q styles. What this does is basically packages up the CSS and throws it at the template. So the way this works is I'm giving it right here, this first parameter, I'm giving it a name. This right here, this last part is I'm basically creating the URL or the link to this file. So I'm getting the template directory URI, which in this case, let's go back to here. So if my website was dnickum.flywheelsites.com/WP content/themes/portfolio, that's what would get generated here, /CSS/normalized.css. Now, granted, these files don't exist right now, but if they did, that's what would show up here. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and comment that out. Just for future reference, I've also included a couple other things. This first one right here is basically walking you through how to integrate Google Fonts. If you remember me walking you through that in class about a month ago, this is how you can integrate custom typefaces into your themes. Now, what if we wanted to integrate some CSS into our template or into our theme that we only wanted to show up on 1 or 2 pages? For example, if you had a slider that you want to integrate into your theme, but you only wanted obviously the slider would probably most likely be only on your home page. There's no point loading all those styles to the slider into any other portion of the site. You only want it to show up on the home page. So with that said, basically I'm registering the style. Make sure you note it says enqueue and register. Basically what I'm doing is right here is that I'm basically setting up the style, but I'm not writing it to the template. That's where the if statement comes in. So if this page happens to be the home page, then I want to enqueue the style, flex slider. All right. This next part is talking about the theme JavaScript. Basically, it's the same concept. It's the same logic. I would have enqueued the script. Here's my template directory URI. Now, there's one more thing that you have to take note of with this JS versus the styles. Is this last part? Is this array means that it is dependent upon jQuery, and yes, I want it to want to have it appear after jQuery. WordPress by default already loads jQuery into your site, so you don't need to worry about doing that, okay? And as with above, if this page is home, I want to enqueue script for flex slider, okay? And then what this does is that, and this is just another JavaScript file down here, okay? Sorry about that. Now, after you've compiled all of your CSS and your JavaScript up above, then what I'm doing is adding an action. I want to write my JavaScript to my templates, and I want to write my styles. What this part right here does, and make sure you don't touch it, as it says right there, I want to enable custom menus. And while we walk you through this a little bit later on, but just leave that activated. Widgets. So if you're not familiar with WordPress, widgets are basically an area of the website that gives you the ability and the flexibility to drop in custom content that are basically small individual apps that are very much independent from the overall WordPress experience. So if we go in here to Appearance, oh, I'm sorry. There we go. So if you can go to Appearance and then you click on Widgets, you can now see that I've created a left footer widget area. Create widget, left footer, footer left. Displays in the bottom of the left of the footer. As you can see right there, there's the title and the content. Once again, as with the custom menus, this will be something that we integrate a little bit later on in the project, but I just wanted to make you aware as to what it is and what it has the ability to do. All right, so as before, we've set up our header and our footers. We have set up our individual work pages, and we've set up the functions.php file. Hopefully this right here will give you enough of a foundation to be able to start building out your own HTML and your own CSS, and give you a great framework for you to be able to start creating your own custom fields and integrating these PHP tags into your own JavaScript and CSS.